Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joviana Palacio and here we talk all things beauty. If you are new, welcome. Thank you for checking us out, stopping by. If you're not new, welcome back. I am so excited for today's video because we went in on color. I don't know, I'm having a color type of moment lately, but then also neutral. I'm trying to give you guys variety, you know what I mean? So today we played with this baby right here. This little palette gave us all of this and more, and I'm super excited. It is the Anastasia Norvina collection. Look at this. I got this in my gratis about like 3-4 weeks ago, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I don't think I would ever use anything like that. I am a neutral, soft glam type of girl at heart. But I don't know, today I'm going out with my friends and we're doing a very fun thing. We're gonna go to a drag brunch type of situation, and I felt like pulling out all of my colors, so I went ahead and used it, and I love the way that this came out. Look at this color, look at the blending. It is so pretty. It is everything I thought it was and more. And I finally filmed this foundation routine. So the last two looks that you guys have seen me post on Instagram, I have done this. And the last video I recorded, I did a soft glam look and I thought I was filming and I didn't film any of the complexion routine. So what I did was film it and walk you guys through step by step, make recommendations, tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I think you guys are gonna love the way that this turns out. So before we get started, you've made it this far, subscribe to my channel. I post every Wednesday and Saturday, and we do all things beauty. We do skincare, we do makeup, we do fun, we do soft, we do glam, we do it all. So subscribe, hit the notification button, that way you don't miss out on anything that we're gonna do here on my channel. And I won't hold you up anymore. Let's get started on this tutorial. Hello everyone. So my hair is a mess, not cooperating, but we're not here for the hair, right? We're here for the glam. That's what I tell myself. So anyway, I started with one eye first just because I knew I wanted something colorful and I couldn't figure it out until I got it done. So I'm super happy with how this came out. Let's get into the tutorial. So I've already done my eyebrows off of camera. We're gonna start prepping with this guy, my Urban Decay Eden eyeshadow primer. So I'm gonna put this all over the lid, and like usual with my colorful type of eye looks, I like to put on a little more than usual. So I'm gonna take my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and we're going to blend this out. I love this crease brush for blending things out. I love it for concealer, especially my matte one by NARS. It is such a good buffing, building type of brush. It works well with creams, with liquids. I just love it. It really does help to blend things out, make it super easy. So we're gonna get this pretty blended. And we're gonna move right along. So once you've blended that out, we're gonna set like we always do with our MAC Studio Fix in C2. I like using a shade that's lighter. So this is definitely lighter. I use this to set my under eye area as well as my eyeshadow primer. It just helps get me a nice neutral base to start blending my eyeshadows off of, which is a must. Get into the eyeshadow, and we're using this baby right here. This is the Anastasia X Norvina collection and the Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2. And these are the colors we're playing with today. Super fun. I feel like it is a very like neon pastel type of situation, which I've seen a lot of, and I felt like I wanted to do my version of that. So I'm gonna take my JH Morphe 35 brush, and I'm going to pick up this color in the corner. It's, what is it, A1? Yeah, A1. Which is just a pastel orange color. I love the way that this shade blended out. It had me a little nervous because it is orange, and I know what you're thinking, Jovi, we use orange in our crease all the time, but not this kind of orange, you know what I mean? But it blended out like a dream. The only thing is that there is a lot of like fallout in the pan itself. And with the actual shimmer shade, I had a lot of fallout on my skin. So I will say do your eyes before you do your face. But let me tell you what, I didn't use any type of lid primer for the crease shade, and it worked out beautifully. It blended out great. So honey, you gotta take it how it comes sometimes. A lot of the times pigmented shadows do have fallout, but I'd rather have fallout in the pan and pigment versus having to struggle to get color out of a palette. So we're gonna move right along. We're gonna switch brushes. This is the JH33, still a blending brush, just a little smaller. And we're gonna go into B3, which is this dark orange shade here. I'm just gonna start to deepen things up with this shade. I feel like taking it and getting it darker slowly with shades like this is the way to go. So I'm just gonna blend that right below the first shade, making sure that we are following the same shape and blending out any fine lines, any rough edges. So I'm gonna take that first brush. I'm not gonna add any more product. I just wanna make sure I'm always blending out the colors so that we know we're blending out where things stop and start. And I'm really excited for this part. We're like literally almost done. I'm gonna go into the actual lid shade, that pretty green that you see there. And I'm just gonna take that with a flat brush and I'm gonna go right into the actual color. I don't need to prep my lid. I don't need to cut the crease. I'm not gonna do any of that. The only thing I'm gonna do is just dampen my brush with a little bit of my all-nighter spray. Any setting spray that you have is good. And I'm just gonna take that right on my lid. Look at that. So I take it about 2/3 of the way into the actual eyelid, and then I leave some space for the hot pink that we're gonna use, as well as the glitter. At this moment, I am okay. I'm pretty comfortable with how we are looking. I'm just gonna dab a little more color in the center. And then now we're gonna go back into the second brush we use, and that B3 color. And I'm just going to go over the edges of that so I can make sure I'm blending everything and everything looks pretty. I like it. So let's go ahead and build this up and use some more fun colors. We're gonna go into this hot pink, which is C3. And I'm gonna take a nice small blending brush because I wanna build and control the color. There is a lot of fallout with this color, so be careful. On the pan though, like not even here. So I'm just going to first staple the color where I want it. I'm going to stamp that down here. Going to take that hot pink and just work our way into the crease area. And I want to build the intensity of this. It doesn't take much to build, but I do want to be careful as I'm building to just stamp down right in this outer corner. Right, once that's on there, I'm just gonna go back over the green one more time, especially closer towards where that pink and the green meet, just because I do want the color to be vibrant and bold. I don't want it to die out. And as a little added zhuzh, a little something, I'm gonna take my Urban Decay Heavy Metals liner in Midnight Cowboy, and I'm gonna go right over the green with it towards the center of the eyelid mostly. I didn't really drag it into the inner corner as much, just because I want that to go from like a subtle shimmer to some glitter. Just like that. Very pretty. So I'm gonna get a little closer to my mirror here, so excuse me if that shows up on the screen, but I need to see. So what I'm gonna do is take my Jumbo Brown pencil from Jordana and Tenacious Brown, and I'm going to line my my lash line. This is such a pretty, light, colorful look. I don't want to darken it up with any type of winged liner. So what I'm going to do is take the brown that's in this palette and a nice stiff brush like this guy here, and we are going to just set that liner, but set it in place and wiggle it. I love this trick whenever I'm feeling like I need a little extra TLC for my liners. I just like taking some shadow that's the same color and fine-tuning it, going over it, filling in any gaps. It really helps to smoke it out too, so it's not just so obvious. So I'm gonna take my Cocoa Lashes in Queen B, and I am gonna use my Duo Blue and get these eyes a little dressed up. I love using a fuller lash with simpler looks like this. I know this is colorful, but it's still a pretty simple look. I mean, we achieved it with 4 colors, so I consider that pretty simple. I just feel like it takes the look to the next level, makes it super pretty and flirty. All right, people, so we did it. We are next to complexion, and I was just gonna make this an eye look tutorial, but I have been loving this skin routine, and I did not film it the last time because I didn't realize I wasn't filming. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hook you all up. All right, so for complexion today, again, you wanna make sure you do your skincare. You wanna make sure you take care of your skin so it feels its best. But let's go into the skin prep. I'm gonna start by using this guy right here. It is the Instant Pore Mattifying Primer by YSL. I love this in my midsection. If you're oily, if you've got someone who's got buildup or who gets super greasy throughout the day, you're welcome. Check it out. It is amazing for that. It helps with your pore blurring. It really does help diffuse that area, and I am very picky with that, so I guarantee you're gonna like it. We're gonna go into the rest of my primer, and I am using a combination of two things. This is the MAC Strobe Light Primer. There you go. And I'm also gonna use my all-nighter. I'm gonna actually mix the two. I've been loving this combo. My skin just looks and feels great with it. I'm gonna put that all over. I'm combination skin, so I do like to use a combination of products to help me with my skin. I feel like that strobe cream helps to hydrate, the all-nighter spray keeps everything in place. I like a glowy, flawless type of look. So if you're someone who likes that same type of finish, highly recommend that combo. Next, we're gonna go into my favorite my favorite foundation combo. And I used to do this all the time, and now I have come back to it. So for foundation today, we're gonna use these guys right here. This is the Hourglass Vanish Stick in Sand. And I'm gonna go into my Dior Forever Skin in 20. Guys, don't sleep on this combo. It is so pretty. Oh my gosh, it photographs well, your skin looks great. I'm gonna take this stick and I'm just gonna apply it very generously all over my face. I usually do 3, and then I will go and do 2 on the forehead. I'm actually gonna do some closer to my nose so we get some coverage there. Love that, love this foundation combo. It was Jaclyn Hill who I saw it off of, and I was like, oh, she is so bougie. She likes the expensive stuff. I can't, come on. I started working at Sephora, and I actually had the opportunity to try it. Wow, love the combo, love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and first use a buffing brush to blend this foundation through. I love the way the foundation looks, and I like the shade Sand. I am very yellow undertones, so it works for me, but sometimes it can be a little too yellow, which is where the 20 for the Dior Forever Skin comes in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out. We are gonna move on to the other foundation, and I'm actually gonna take about 1.5 pumps of Dior Forever Skin, and I'm gonna use my beauty sponge. Side note, beauty sponge from Burlington, and it is so good. I'm gonna just pounce that in over the Hourglass foundation just to kind of manipulate the color a little bit. Formula, not so much, but this is definitely for color. I just want to tone down the yellowness. Like, do you see how less yellow it is with this? That's what I'm going for. So I'm gonna take just a little more I need. Back on the sponges, I went to Burlington to try to find a jacket for my husband for an event yesterday, and I saw that they had these sponges all in a jar. The jar's over there somewhere. And I was like, oh, those look okay. And I touched the sponge dry so I know how stiff it's gonna be. And it felt pretty decent, so I brought it home and tried it out yesterday. And honestly, if you ever get a chance to go into a Burlington, check out their cosmetic section. If you see sponges like this, buy them. It was 6 of them for $10. And I'm telling you, it is legit. We're gonna bronze and contour. For bronzing and contouring, I am using my favorite contouring stick that's not a contouring stick. This is the Milk Cosmetics Flex Foundation. I use this to contour, and I use it in the shade Medium Tan. And then, sorry, I use it to bronze. And then to contour, I use my good old faithful LA Girl Pro Longwear Concealer, Pro Conceal in Beautiful Bronze. So the way this works is, I use this guy first. It is just a little bit darker than what my skin tone is, but it helps me to bronze. And I use that pretty generously all over my face. I like the way that it blends out. It's easy to buff in if I overdo it, so I'm not concerned. That cream, I believe it's the marshmallow root extract that they have in it that keeps it so flexible and so pretty. Like, it looks so nice on in the skin. I was so pleased with my photos yesterday while I was getting photographed at this event. No Casper the Ghost here. I was like, yes, cream contouring. Thank you, come through. So I'm just gonna blend this in. I'm using my BH Cosmetics angled brush to just buff this into the skin. And remember to push towards the eyes and up when you're doing your cheekbones, okay? Just push up. And then next we're gonna kind of do the same thing with this LA Girl, except you're gonna use a lot less. With the LA Girl, it's very pigmented, and this is definitely a contouring shade. It's a lot darker than the other one was, but I'm gonna put it right on the temples. I'm gonna be more generous with it here than I was on the forehead, because I do like a very carved out look. And then I'm gonna use the very edge of it to just start to kind of cream contour my nose, under the lip. And then I've left the chin one undone so we can blend everything together. And for the chin one, for the chin contour, I'm actually gonna go back into my foundation brush and use whatever's left over on there to help kind of blend this in. That helps it be less intense, and it helps to blend everything out to the point where it's not like super dark down there. But for the rest of it, we're gonna use this. So I'm gonna just use that same brush, the BH Cosmetics brush, to push. And I'm literally stippling, guys. Don't swirl. I'm stippling this into place, kind of pushing it, warming it up into the skin. So stamp, stamp, stipple, stipple, stamp, stamp, stipple, stipple. This all over your face. Oh, that combo. Ooh, I love it. Love it. Complexion, yes. So we are gonna go into our concealing, and I'm gonna use this guy right here that has quickly become my go-to concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I use it in the shade Nude. So what I like to do is just with the first swoop out of the container, I'm just gonna take that very first amount of the product into the area where I need the most, which is underneath my eyes. And then I'm just gonna work with that one amount to spread it where I need it. That honestly reduces the amount of product that you're using, one, so you're saving product, and two, you don't necessarily need that much, and a lot of the times caking and creasing happens because we overdo it. So I'm just going to work with what I got here. Put it on my chin, work it on the nose. I love to do it around the mouth, and I haven't reinserted the container. That's all we're gonna use. Again, that's my pro tip for you to reduce caking and creasing. Don't use as much. So we're gonna let the under eye area sit for the longest. We're gonna start by blending down here, and we're gonna work out that lower lip contour. I also clean up a little bit down here, not too much because we're gonna do that with the powder, but I take whatever is left over, not adding any additional product, to clean up my contour down here. So I'm gonna do the same thing up here. I'm just gonna blend and push into that contour. This is the moment where we're gonna just push all the products together. I love the beauty sponges for that reason, because it just blends everything out. By this point, it should have started to dry some, so it'll help the coverage. You can clean up your eye area here. Don't wipe it all away, because remember, we want everything to tie in together. Putting concealer on has to be my favorite part of this. We are going to set that right away with a compact. This is the MAC Studio Fix C2 we use to set our eyes. We're gonna do it under our eyes instead of our eyelids. And so what I like to do is, I'm gonna take this Real Techniques brush. This is their Rose Gold collection in 300. We're gonna build that, and I'm gonna push that into my under eye area. So this is number one, gonna set. Number two, build coverage, which is ideal. So just push that into there. Don't swipe, push. Staple the powder on. This is gonna brighten at the same time. It's gonna set. We're still gonna bake just a little bit to make sure that we have no crease and that we don't have that issue throughout the day, but I find that this really does help to kind of bring more coverage in the areas where we need it the most. So to bake, we're gonna go to my favorite loose setting powder from the drugstore. That's this guy right here. It is the Maybelline Fit Me in Fair. I like it in a shade that's light for under my eyes. You can feel free to use a translucent or one that's similar to your skin tone. I just like a bright under eye area. I'm gonna grab that on my beauty sponge, push it into the lid to kind of break that up a little more, and then work it in to the under eye. When you're using your sponge, regardless of it being liquid or powder, you're always pouncing and pushing the products in, worming them into the skin. While that is setting, we're gonna go right back into the eyes real quick. I'm taking my Norvina Anastasia palette, and we are going to just use a combination of the oranges and the pink to just blow out that under eye area. I kind of just pick them all up with the same brush and work them in. Just like that. And a little trick that I like to do is grab that same brush we used to set the powders and kind of go over the under eye area and dust that off with that same brush while also cleaning up my shadow some. Okay guys, we are literally almost done. I am so excited. I've done this routine so many times now that it's like quick. So the next thing we're gonna do before we dust off everything, I know we did a little bit of the under eye area, is we're gonna go back in to our Kat Von D palette and set that. So I'm gonna set my contouring with this first shade, which is called Subconscious. And I'm gonna go right over it here and working in circular motions. So everywhere that we put that beautiful bronze shade from LA Girl, we're going to set with this Subconscious shade. And this is more contouring. We're gonna go in now and we're gonna bronze ourselves up. I'm gonna use the center shade here. What is that called? Shadow Play. I love that as my bronzer, and I'm gonna put that mostly up here because I did undo a lot of that with the powders and the concealer. I also love me a nice glowy bronzy forehead situation. So I'm gonna just very lightly set everything else, and you see how it's getting rid of that very sharp white line that we had when we started? That's why I like to keep a lot of the powders on, just because when you do away with them, it's really hard to blend things out and you end up having to go back in again and do it twice, and you don't want to do that. So this is what we're dealing with right now. I go heavy-handed with my bronzer just because I don't like to use a lot of blush, so gauge that as you will. If you do a lot of blush, then I would just kind of pull it back a little on the bronzer. I'm going to go with my highlighter. This is a Makeup Forever Pro Fusion highlighter. I call it the gold one. They had two, like a pinky one, and then they have this guy. This is phenomenal for clients who are lighter, not lighter, but like darker in complexion, not like super dark, medium olivey tones, Latina descent, you know? I'm gonna take that right up here. So I put it in the shape of a C above the eyebrow and right below, and I love it. Put it on the nose. Lastly, we're gonna go into blush, and for blush, I have been loving this Dior blush. I will list the name down below because I do not have it here, but I am in love with the way that that looks with my bronzer. Like I just said before, I don't like to do too much blush, and if I do blush, it's similar to this where it's like a bronzy shade. Let me show you. So it's that guy right there. First of all, they smell phenomenal. Amazing. I love when they have, you know, scented powders, because I don't know, it just smells pretty. It's not too much. And I'm just gonna build this up. It's very, very subtle. I love building it up because it gives me more control over how it looks. It's not an overwhelming blush, but it gets the job done, you know? So I'm actually gonna put some beige in my waterline, surprise, surprise. But these by BH Cosmetics are so pigmented, they last all day. It's a really pretty pencil. Is it a gel? I don't know if it's a gel. All I know is it's good. It's super good. So we're gonna set this guy real quick. I'm gonna use my Urban Decay All-Nighter. Just drench my skin in it. When you use powders like that, that's the best thing that you can do to set your skin. keep it looking nice and glossy and natural. I am going to do my lips and my hair off of camera real quick just because I gotta get the situation under control, and I'll be right back to you guys. Alright guys, so this is the finished look right here. I just paired it with the nude lip and some gloss. This is actually a, what is it? It's a drugstore. Rimmel. So it's a Rimmel lipstick in the shade Airy Fairy, and then I topped it off with my NARS Orgasm lip gloss, the oil infused one. I did a little top, little something with my curls, but I feel like this is honestly everything. Like this is gonna be my summer vibes right here. Look at how pretty that look is. It was a super easy and fun look. This palette, I honestly got it in gratis and I never thought that I would use it, and I got it. So I 100% suggest you get it. For a girl like me that's neutrals all day, every day, I really did enjoy this. It was really easy to create this look with it. It was pigmented and nice. So I hope that you guys do check these out. They are nice. This is it for the look. I hope that it was easy and simple for you guys to follow along. I hope that you're liking me doing one eye off camera and just kind of talking you through the other one. I feel like it's a little easier, quicker, nice way for me to focus on really telling you what I do. And I hope that you finally you got to see this foundation routine. It literally, I have been doing this for the past week non-stop. Like I love the way my skin looks in this. I like the way it photographs in this. I am feeling it all the way around. So if you did like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Do not forget to hit the notification bell, that way you are notified of when I upload my videos. It is every Wednesday and Saturday. So don't miss out, because we are doing looks like this and so much more on my channel. I will see you guys next time.